Hi friends, welcome to Adis DevOps. Today we are going to see about GitLab CI/CD MongoDB deployment. So a few of my viewers asked me to give complete tutorial for GitLab CI/CD, so which I already posted in my channel. So today I'm going to little bit brush it up the basics of GitLab CI/CD. With that, I'm going to add MongoDB deployment, which can be used for the production level by hiding the environment variables of MongoDB username and password, and by taking care of MongoDB volume backup. So those things I'm going to discuss with you. So before going to the video, people who are newly visited to my channel, please subscribe by clicking this subscribe button, and people who are regularly watching my channel, please update your comments, so it will be very helpful for me to upgrade myself. Here I have posted few videos related to GitLab CI/CD in Tamil, initially which where I have started. So first one is DevOps. So this video will give the brief introduction about how the DevOps works in GitLab CI/CD and what is the uses of GitLab Runner, and how AWS, that cloud, will work on this. Okay, and after that, the second video will give the brief introduction about how to create one EC2 instances connected through my Putty. Okay, and because we need one server, I'm not going to show this demo in locally, which was cloud server. You can use Azure or AWS based on your preference. This video gives you the brief introduction about how to create AWS EC2 instances. It is totally free for you for new users. And second to this, we need to connect those EC2 instances in our locally by using Putty. For that, we need to generate SSH key. So for that, we need to install Putty generator, SSH key generator. This video completely describe about those activities. After that, now only we are entering into the GitLab runner registration. So each and every new instances which was created in AWS or Azure, the virtual machine need to be installed some basic requirements like GitLab runner registration, Docker, and Docker Compose. So those details are given in this video. So first one is registration of GitLab runner. Second to that, we are going to use Docker in our tutorial. So we need to install the Docker over that particular machine in that which was going to connect through the Putty AWS virtual machine. So we need to install Docker first, and after that we need to install Docker Compose. Those things are completed, we need to connect GitLab runner, which is the particular project GitLab runner, to our virtual machine. So for that, we need to create the GitLab runner. After completing the GitLab runner registration, we need to create runner for each and every project, because we are using open source GitLab, so we couldn't create shared runner. If it is a paid version, you can create a shared runner, and one single runner we can use for all the projects, but we are using open source here, so we need to create individual runner for each and every project. For that, I'm moving into the GitLab. So here I have created one sample file for MongoDB GitLab CI/CD deployment. In that settings, we have GitLab CI/CD. So there we have runners option. So we don't have the active runner. So while going for the deployment, we need to have active runner. This is here we will have individual runner for the project. This is shared runners, but it is given by the open source. But it for our individual requirements, we need to go for individually. We need to create our runner. For that, we need to use runner registration. Already we have registered the runner, and we need to connect this project with that instances. For that, we need to use GitLab runner registration. So while we are using this command, it will ask for this particular project URL and token. So I'm going to install GitLab runner over this GitLab URL, then particular project token. Once you are entering URL enter, it asks for the description of this project. So I'm going to give, and it is cell runner, so that I will have the clear picture. and this is a tag name which is going to use in the GitLab CI/CD YML file for triggering this project while the commit was happened. So the tag name is very important. So I'm giving MNGO MongoDB shell runner. So you can give whatever you want. I'm for my convenient I'm using MongoDB runner shell runner. Then we need to give type of runner. So we have those here we have docker ssh shell like that. So many runners types are there. So each one have unique requirements. Here I'm using shell runner. Okay, successfully we have created the runner over that particular instances by which was belongs to the MongoDB GitLab CI/CD in this particular project runner. So once you are refreshing this project, you are able to see the still it is not connected yet to the particular instances. It will take some time. Okay, so before going, maybe meanwhile we will discuss about the code. I have cloned this project into my local repository, and I have created few files related to deployment. So here first we will go with Docker Compose file. Here we are not going to use Docker because for a simple MongoDB deployment we no need of Docker, just Docker Compose file is enough. So we are using Docker Compose file 3.8 version, and MongoDB image is Mongo. So while executing this command, it will pull the Docker Hub Mongo latest image, and it gives container name of MongoDB in our instances. For our convenience, we are customize the name of that particular container which is going to create while deploying. After that, we were using environmental file and volume both for security reasons we were using, and for backup we were using volumes. We can give the username and db password over here itself, but why I'm using environmental file is it can be maintained different types for the based on the requirements of deployment, like testing, production, development, demo. Like that we can use to maintain different environmental files in different servers, where we are deploying. Based on that, it took that particular environmental file and deploy. Maybe we can defer the username and password wherever we needed, based on the deployment type, maybe production, development. Like that we don't want to share with the developers, so that we were using this environmental file concept in that particular path in your virtual machine where training MongoDB. This is my path. Whatever you want you can create it here in my cloud virtual machine. Already I have created that particular path, and I have created MongoDB environmental file, sudo nano for edit. So here I have created the DB username, password, and the database name. So these three input variables is added here. From here it will take and create. Okay, so which was added in my repository in MongoDB NVS. You can copy it and you can add it in your virtual machine, and you can change the password, username and password, whatever you want, and DB name. Okay, and we were using one more thing that is called volume. So it is very important in that DB. Why? If the container is crashed, the data which is available inside the container in DB will be deleted. So we couldn't collect the collections details, maybe like username and password and other product details which was added after it is deployed. For that, we need to have some backup. So each and every time if I'm creating the new container, those details which is already created should be retrieved. For that, we are using data DB backup. So this path, whatever you want, you can maintain in your virtual cloud where training MongoDB. And here we were inside that MongoDB, right? So we don't have file now, directory now, but while the DB is creating, MongoDB is creating, automatically it will be created. For that, we need to provide the right access. So I'm going to use chmod 777. So you can use 555 or 655, like that, whatever you want you can use. I'm giving complete access because this is a training, so I'm using this based on the deployment type, production, like that. You can change the access whatever you want. but I'm giving complete access chmod 777 var training and mongodb for that file path. Giving complete write access, we need to add sudo in front of it. Okay, so while the db is creating, it need to have the write access for this particular directory, so that datadb will be created. That is backup of the mongodb. Every collections which is created after the deployment, it will be stored over here. If the container is crashed, if you are recreating the mongodb, the data which is created are retrieved back to the newly created db. Okay, I think now you will be very clear about why we are using environmental file and volumes over here. And that port, this is a default port of MongoDB. You are aware of it, right? Then next to that, we are going to GitLab CI/CD. So this is a YAML file which is used for the GitLab. So we are going to use Docker image service. We are going to use Mongo. And here stage, we can use n number of stage, like release, staging, production, deployment, like that. I'm going to use release stage. So the stage name is this is the name we can customize, and this is the name where we are using the stage name need to be recalled here. And the environment is release for our verification I have used, and we need to give the branch name. So here I'm using only one branch in my collection in that GitLab. So I'm using mastr. When I'm committing to the master, this deployment will triggers, MongoDB deployment will triggers. So I'm like that. So this is the branch name. We need to mention in which branch the commit happens, the deployment need to be triggers, like that. Okay, so next to this, we'll go for the tag name. So I said that it need to be GitLab runner which we created need to be active for the deployment, for successful of for the success of the deployment. So whether the runner, you see now it is a green color, so runner is running on online. It was connected 5 minutes ago. So this is the tag name of the runner. This particular tag name of the runner, we need to copy it and paste it over here. I said no, the tag name is very important. It is used for the triggering of the particular runner. So based on this tag name, it triggers that particular runner, and that runner is connected to our virtual machine over here. So automatically deployment will starts here. And when it triggers, while the branch was, when it is committing to the master branch, so this is the activity will happens. So you can check one more thing. So I showed you some tutorials which was previously posted in my YouTube channel for the Docker deployment, and those things little bit old videos. So while you are deploying, you can go with the latest version which I was using for these tutorials. You can check with version numbers. So while you are deploying, you can change the version number so that you will get the latest deployment, and it will be easy for you also. Okay, so before starting the deployment process, you need to make sure that you have installed Docker Compose, GitLab runners. Okay, so if your GitLab runner is successfully installed and connected, means you need to get this green color, so that we can make sure that our runner is connected successfully. So I can start commit, and we can check whether our deployment is works or not. I can stage the files which is changed here, and I can go with git commit dash m, and the commit message is mongodb CI/CD deployment. Okay, so I can push this code to the cloud, which is committed in my local repository. From my local, I'm pushing to the cloud repository. So people who are in the DevOps, make sure that you are well known of GitLab commands and the process which is happening in the GitLab. It was it introduced many questions related to GitLab. They were asking that commands which we are using here, maybe deleting of branches, create why we are how we are, what is the difference between fetch and pull. So those questions are very easily they were asking. while the interview process. So commit was successful. Our code is pushed to the cloud repository. We can move to the cloud. So here we have CI/CD. In the CI/CD, still it is not started. Now you will aware of that. My code is committed to the repository for the master branch. Now the codes are available. This is the first commit 59 seconds ago. All the required files were moved to cloud repository. Once the commit is happened, because of the YML file in the branch of master, it start triggering the deployment with the runner connected to this tag name. So you can see, but it will take little bit of time. Because of individual runners, it will take some time. This job is created and deployment to the release. See, download the newer image of Mongo latest, creating the MongoDB, creating of MongoDB done, job success. So this is the GitLab CI/CD, and we can see the process, what are they happening inside the containers. And this is the path where our project is lies inside the server. So you can go into this path over the server and you can check whether it is created or not. If there is any error, also you can work on it. So maybe I will show some demo for you. ls see MongoDB, the code, complete code will be available here. So you can check, see, we have readme file, docker compose and environment, everything will be moved inside the server without, maybe we were using FileZilla like that commands for moving the code from repository to server. Now we no need of those things. By using GitLab CI/CD runner, it take care of those activities and moved to the runner folder. From there it is deploying the code to the instance. Okay, we can check whether our MongoDB is running. For that, docker ps, see, our MongoDB is running. The port number 2017. This is the container ID and name, and the name of the container MongoDB, which we have used over here. MongoDB, whatever the name you want, you can make use of it, so that you can go with some other activities like before deploying we can check whether the container is running or not. If it is running, delete the container and recreate newly. So though for the shell scripting activities, we can use those names, so that we are using container name and which is running in 2017 default port. So it is not localhost, we need to use IP address. So my IP will change after this deployment tutorial is completed. 93.135. So this is IP default port number, and we were using this authentication methodology. What is the username and password we were used? That we, so ls, see, DataDB is created. I told you, no, while the deployment is completed, DataDB will be created. So automatically, while we are seeing this initially, we don't have DataDB folder over there. So I'm using nano to view the file. The username and password I forgot about that. DB user, DB pass. So we have used DB user and DB pass. DBPASS, and it is admin. See, database is created. So default files are available. Okay, so successfully we were logged into the MongoDB campus. For that, I have used inbound rules, and I have opened the port number 2017, but it is not recommended one. So for making you to view those access of MongoDB, I have opened inbound rules at 2017 in this particular IP, but it is not recommended one for the develop, maybe production. And the DB are connected internally, so it won't disclose with the public connectivity. So those things you don't need to do it. For internal request, I have used those things which is in inbound. I'm opened the port number 2017 and I'm showing to you by connecting the Mongo Compose for ensuring that it is accessible.